Good morning, good morning. Another week in the books here on the live stream. These Fridays are coming faster and faster. Anyway, welcome to the London live stream. Friday the 24th of June. Things are finally starting to move here on gold. It's been a pretty choppy week. But I think today we are going to get this move down. Looking at yesterday's candle, we had a nice strong push down. Although we closed with no bottom wick. I mean, you know, the day before, Wednesday's candle was just a little bit indecisive. Yesterday we've closed nice and bearish, so we should continue down to support today. Let's just have a look at the news quick. Morning, Ian. How are you today? Alright, so we have retail sales for the pound at 8 o'clock. 4 minutes time. So yeah, we just gotta wait for that news, of course, on GJ. That'll happen right now. So we'll do a quick analysis on GJ in terms of the news. Other than that, there's nothing really. US economy slows. Okay. Okay, so let's do a quick analysis here on GJ. Okay, so GJ, last week's candle, bearish. Okay. I mentioned this earlier in the week, how we closed below this resistance. Now we've pushed up into these previous highs over here. And we are showing signs of rejection clearly. Your daily candle from yesterday, very bearish. We flipped bearish on today's candle. And yeah, on the 4 hour you can see we formed some sort of resistance right over here. So expecting price to push further down here on GJ. Alright. You've also got your current weekly low right over here. So let's look at that on the lower time frame. Okay, so that's support right there. Then I'd say the range you're in right now, this is your resistance. Zoom in a little bit more. We formed a support right over here. Looks like we may just close below. So you got clean candles moving down here. If we get that closure below, possibly 8 o'clock, we want to just see a wick up and then break of that low to drive to support. Gonna move the support right over here. Obviously this is your most recent level, so we just need to obviously mark that up as our first target, and then after that obviously we have this level right here as well, which I'll mark up, but I want to see price break this level. If we break that level, it means we are bearish on the current weekly, and if we break this current weekly low, let's have a look, we could potentially push a little bit further here. Yeah, 164, 160 looks like a good target here. Fill this wick, and we've obviously got a nice little resistance right over here. So bearish here on GJ today, and we'll be targeting 164, 150 as our final target. 8 o'clock, let's see, we didn't close below support. Alright, but clearly bearish here. Let's see. Numbers not out. I think the numbers were better than expected, but still not good. Still not good numbers, so could expect to see a push down here from GJ. We are breaking 4-hour lows. It looks really good, but obviously I've only really just sat down now, so the plan was to wait for a closure below support. Didn't get that, so not going to enter impulsively here as I've not planned for that. But as you break these lows, you could very well drive lower here. So probably just gotta wait here for GJ at this point. Most probably going to wait for London Open. We had news the other day on GJ, and before London Open that resulted in a little bit of a push up before then driving down. So I want to see what's going to happen here. The structure's a little bit different today. We're busy in this consolidation right here, so this is something you just want to avoid, obviously, and that's why I say you're waiting for closure above or below. So right now we closed still within that level. Going to just wait here on GJ for some closures below, or possibly for price to potentially push up, maybe even retest 165, 760, maybe even break out of that level. Then I will be looking for a fake out, or could just be something like that. Right, so sells on GJ right now. In terms of bars, you know, on the 4-hour we have created a support here, but this resistance is clearly a problem, and we are bearish, so to take bars above here you could risk getting faked out. Not too interested in bars this morning. Potentially, if we move up to some of these levels here, if we break into this range here, then I may be looking at taking bars. Okay, let's just have a quick look at gold. Like I say, daily is very bearish here. 4-hour, okay, we broke below the support right here. Then we close with pretty much no wick there. We've pushed up now. This could be a fake out of this level here on 4-hour to drive further down. I just don't see bars happening here on gold either. Just very, very bearish right now. And you know what, we've had these spikes up already in the week. We've had these movements up, you could say, to grab liquidity, or whether it was news. This was Tuesday when Fed Powell was speaking, or Wednesday. This was yesterday. I think there was also some news yesterday that triggered that. Yep. And now that all that news is absorbed and today there's nothing too much happening, the technicals should finally take over and you should see price move down to support here. Alright, so yeah, on a 30-minute, we've got our support at 18.22.600. Ideally, just want to see a closure below there to drive down here. Let's look left. Do have some rejection areas here. Nice level this. We had a lot of taps into this level. Support, resistance, support, support, support. 50 pip range. That's all good and well. Alright. We've got our resistance up here. Now the only reason I'm really marking this resistance up, because I don't really want to take buys above this level, is I'm looking possibly to see if we do break out of this level and then break back in, then we could be looking at a fake out. This range right now, I want to stay away from this range unless, like I say, we break out to the upside and then break back in for those sells. Alright, so that's looking pretty nice for us today. Some slightly cleaner setups. Since I'm looking for sells and we are moving down to the support, like I say, closure below 18.22.600, we'll be taking sells, and then you got really clean traffic moving down to 18.19, 300. At that level I have stops at break even, so already just planning ahead for that. I am obviously anticipating us to sell off here. Like I say, the only reason I take a trade in this range is possibly if you get a fake out of this resistance, break back in, and then start to move down here. But looks like we're already moving down to support. So let's see if we get that closure below. I'd really like us to close below that 9 o'clock. But it's moving quite quickly here. GJ still in this range here right now. like I said, only really be interested in buys above here. Doubt that's going to happen here. On GJ, we are quite bearish here as well. So yeah, most likely just going to wait for the hourly candle closure. We'll see how the half an hour candle closes, but at this point, just a waiting game. Not going to take anything yet. 8:15. Morning, Jared. Short. Damn, man. Gold is like the wild, wild west. For anyone who thought this week was going to be straightforward on gold, wow. You and I were both surprised. Up and down and up and down. Yeah, obviously we had Fed Powell speaking as well. Spoke on Wednesday, and that, could have been the reason why we had this move. But he started moving up basically from Asian close on Wednesday. But the thing is, I mean, overall we were bearish. The thing is, we were just trickling down. Price was trickling down. We didn't have that volume or momentum to drive down to any of these targets here. And this could possibly have just been, price moving up to collect liquidity. Maybe we're moving so slowly in anticipation of that news later on in the day, that kind of thing. So, took notes on that. For next time you see price moving so slowly like this, we want to see some sort of deeper pullback and a resistance to form for those continuation of sales. And if there's news later in the day, that's probably why we are moving so slowly. Same story yesterday. Had that drive up, and now we finally got some momentum here. Obviously, we arranged it during Asian from basically New York closed Asian. So now once we break out of this range, I mean really we should move down here. Extremely high probability we move down here today on gold. I mean, there'll have to be something monumental to push us back up from these levels. Let's have a look at GJ. Oh, just stuck here in this range. So that news at 8 o'clock didn't really do too much. And what GJ's been doing all week is just before London Open, we pushing up, getting a fake out here, drive down. Same thing yesterday, we pushed up and we did tap into a resistance, but you know, very similar setup to that, and we just drove straight down. Saw this coming after this 30-minute candle closed. Wanted to get involved, but I was waiting for this 15-minute candle to close, and it just closed like halfway through this range. So I said to wait for the 30 minutes. You wait for a closure below this support, and price just got away from us. So we'll see what GJ does today. Looks like it's a little bit more set up to take sales below the support. But if we do drive up, if we tap into 165,750 or just slightly break above that level and then break back in, we know exactly what to do here today. Gold already looking a lot cleaner than the rest of the week here. Crazy to think both of the trade ideas from yesterday played out. We had the support here on gold, right over here. And then once we closed below, we drove down to our target right over here. Once we tapped into that target, we drove all the way back, broke this daily high that we were talking about, moved up to our other potential target we had if we were to take bars. But nothing happened yet in our session for gold yesterday. Thanks to everyone joining here this morning. Please leave a like and subscribe if you're not subscribed. I was probably going to have to wait for London Open, and that's just fine. Got about 38 minutes to go until the new hourly candle opens, so just kick back. We're gonna take it slow. It's a Friday here. Go make yourself some coffee. Do what you need to do. Got plenty of time. So even though we haven't had necessarily great moves during gold this week, we have also been pushing up just before London Open and then driving down. Here we go, pushed up, London Open, pushed up, then we pushed down. So I want to be cautious here on the 30-minute, although it does look really good. If the 30-minute closes below this support for us to drive down, just ideally I would much rather have an hourly candle closure below this level. The other thing is your daily is also tapping into this weekly support area now. Which is interesting. Had the biggest turnout on stream yesterday. Was really awesome to see so many people joining, all the support. Appreciate you guys so much. And to the regulars, thank you for joining. I love to see the small community that we have going here. Obviously the channel is really new still, so I think I should do the Discord group that I spoke about yesterday, so we can have some sort of a little bit more of a community here. honestly, you could have a sell stop on the daily low, stop loss above the high. Looking at about just more than a 50 pip stop, but the target is going to be like 130 pips. But we'll wait here for the lower time frame, wait for another confirmation. Right, you know what I'm gonna do here? So we had the support right here on a 4 hour. Now right now it's looking like we had a fake out of that level. Okay, we broke back above and now we are moving back below this level. Your 30-minute candle is closed quite strong below there. And like I say, your daily candle, I mean, once we break this current daily low, there should be quite a bit of volume here. Had a nice confirmation on yesterday's candle for price to drive down. Your current candle has wicked up, created a high. Like I say, once we break that low, coming into a time of volume, we should get some really nice movement down here. There's been a little bit of indecision this week, some slow, choppy movement, but there's also been news, Fed Powell speaking, and that's all done with. That's all, been absorbed into the market now, and you can see which direction the market is wanting to go. So this idea is really based on the daily time frame, but I'm wanna have a sell stop below this wick here, and keeping in mind that we have this, this previous support level. If we do break this wick, we shouldn't break back above this level here, so we can have our stop loss above this hourly candle, and you're looking at about a 34 pip stop. Like I say, about a 34 pip stop we'll go break even at about 24 pips. Your first target is 43 pips away, and your final target for the week is going to be 130 pips. Final target for the week, and it is Friday. So let's see if we get that movement. Alright, looks good. Sell stops at 18.25, 500. $18.25. What am I saying? 18.21, 500. Sorry about that. Can have sell stops at 18.21, 400 here on my broker. Always about a pip difference or so. Also just wanting to see how the hourly candle is closing here on GJ. So far so good. Looks like we should begin to move down here, but obviously need a closure below 165, 230. this is what I've been looking for the entire time. Man. But that doesn't help. Oh my word. You know, potentially you could have your support up here. I'm not saying you should, but you know, this right here was just like a fake out of this level. Now your 30-minute candle closed nice and strong below that level. So like I'm saying, basing this, what's going on here, on top of what's happening on the daily candle, this is why I've placed my sell stop here on the break of the daily low. So when we see that momentum kick in and we do break the daily low, I mean, things are lining up to move here today. It's been a choppy week, and I think the direction is finally starting to clear up. So we should see price move here today. Very high probability we should move down into some of our targets here today. Called a lot cleaner than GJ this morning. GJ, we'll just see how things play out here. But I quite like how gold is sitting right now. Let's see if these sell stops trigger. There are 15 minutes to London Open. Already pushing down here a little bit. I'm going to be right back. Give me 2 minutes. If we do get triggered in here, you're going to have stops above 1825, above this current hourly candle. I'm not going to put my stops all the way above this resistance. It's just quite a big stop. Like I say, we've got this level over here. So once we break these lows, I don't see price coming back up all the way to 18.25. And that stops at 18.25, 250. We are moving here already. Okay, I'm gonna be right back. Like I say, sell stops at 18.21, 500. Gonna have the sell stop at the stop loss at 18.25, 250. Alright guys, help me help you here. I want to just see the price difference. So on my broker, this low right here, this low right over here, okay, our daily low here on TradingView, I've got this low at 18.21, 720. On my broker, that low is at 18.21, 650. So there's about a pip difference. I've marked up here that we have sell stops at 18.21, 500 just based on TradingView price. On my broker, I've placed sell stops at 18.21, 400. So can you tell me on your broker where this low is in the chat? if anyone has their chart open, their MetaTrader, just let me know. It'll be interesting to see everyone else's prices. I'm sure we all have different brokers. Nobody. Close below support on the 15 minute. We do have 10 minutes here to London Open. Gonna leave these sell stops in. Stop loss is in a pretty safe place. 18.21. Yeah, pretty much the same as my broker. Also depends on what your spread is. But for most people, your spread on gold's probably going to be, 2 pips or so. Possibly less. Most probably less, should I say. So yeah, we just want to see how GJ closes here. Right now looking quite good. Just hovering above that support. Slowly moving down. We've got 7 minutes. Looks like we're coming in hot. Not in just yet. if your sell stops did get activated, because mine hasn't just yet, but you may have been activated here, so you know, you just want to see how this candle is going to close. If you do close above support, then you may want to manage risk. GJ and gold both setting up here. Got an order already set here on gold. I really like this setup here on gold. Gonna just focus on this for now. Yeah, that's the thing, man. You need to just pick one. Also have a tough time picking sometimes, but to me, this looks a lot cleaner. You know, all your time frames are lining up here now. And on GJ, not so much. You know, your weekly at this point is still sitting bullish, although we have rejected. I would say, looking at the weekly, my bias here right now is bearish. Your daily is bearish, but let's see here. We are sitting on this weekly resistance, closed above yesterday, which makes it, you know, a little bit of a tricky situation. You can see our previous 4 hours closed above, and we rejected this weekly resistance. This is the area we are pushing into now, and of course your 4-hour, just want to remove this, your 4-hour, you know, we've created a support right over here. Overall, just not as clean as gold right now. I think we are in here. Yep, I'm in. So look at how your daily candle is sitting right now. Broken its own low. We've just moved back above support, so I'm going to have to just be careful here. I want to see us close below that level. So yeah, gold closed back in the range. But of course, if you respect this previous hourly high and we break the low, then we should begin to move down. We've now got this volume. Alright, so we did create a little top wick here on this hourly I'm going to leave this as is, and if we come back and re-break that high there, and I'm going to close a little bit of this position here just to manage. Since we did close above, it would be a good idea to manage the trade as we closed above, but the momentum is very bearish here. Let's look at this. And we were still closing below this previous support here. Okay, we closed below this support, this previous 4-hour support. We wicked up into that level. We're driving down now. So I haven't closed out anything, haven't managed this trade just yet. Also happens quite often where we do close above, but if the overall or higher time frame bias is, let's say, bearish in this instance, and we get the volume we need and we break this low, price certainly should move down quite nicely here. Maybe it just did that to mess with traders waiting for a closure below the range there. Okay, hourly looks nice on GJ. This current hour has no top wick, so I'd want to see this wick up back into 165, 230 before breaking its own low and driving down to support here. Overall, it does look pretty good. Just no top wick. I'd stay away. Gold re-breaking the lows very early in the hour here. But if you haven't got involved, potential opportunity to enter there on the break of those lows. Maybe you want to wait for a bearish 15-minute candle closure. See here, we basically closed below support with no bottom wick, so we pushed up then, and now we've had like a fake out, driving back down. But like I say, if this candle breaks its own high, that's where I'll manage risk here.